it's Miss Liz here. Welcome back for another round of kitchen science. However, if you look behind me, you will notice that I am not in my kitchen. That is because today is a beautiful day out, so I figured why not take the kitchen outside for our experiment, which is really great because today's experiment is a little messy, so it is better to do it outside if you can. For today's kitchen science experiment, we are going to be dealing with chemistry. And I figured, what is a sweeter chemistry experiment than learning how to make your own homemade ice cream? That's right, I said it, chemistry and ice cream in the same sentence. Now you may be sitting there going, Miss Liz, what does ice cream have to do with chemistry? And I'm very glad that you asked that question because I'm about to tell you some of the science behind it. The magic of making homemade ice cream is in the salt and water mixture that we're going to put together. In order to make your homemade ice cream, your ingredients need to get really cold and actually freeze. Instead of putting all your ingredients together and putting them in the freezer and waiting a really long time for them to freeze, this is a way to speed up that process because you'll be using the salt and the ice to make a mixture to make the freezer effect for you. What's really cool and what I want you guys to notice is as we're doing this experiment is that as your ice cream begins to freeze, you'll see the salt and ice begin to melt. Also, when we shake the bag, that's creating a force effect, and that allows the warm cream mixture to move around and allow for better freezing. Plus, it also creates air pockets in the ice cream that makes your ice cream a little bit fluffier when you eat it. And another experiment that goes behind the ice cream is seeing how your cream mixture is going to go from a liquid state to a solid state. What this is called, it's changing its state of matter, so it's going from one form to another form. Think of water when you freeze it. When you originally put it in the freezer, it's liquid, and when it comes out, it's ice. This is the same idea. Fair warning, you will notice with this experiment, and you're going to hear me say it a few times, is that the bag, as you shake it, is going to get really cold. I recommend either getting a pair of gloves to do it with, or if you have a sibling or family member at home that maybe wants to do the science experiment with you, it is a great time to work together. You can shake it for a little bit, they shake it for a little bit, and you guys keep passing it off, and the great thing is you guys can share the ice cream at the end. So with all that said, let's get started. I'm going to show you guys what we need for this experiment, and then we're going to create our sweet treat. So like any good scientist, what we have to do before we start our experiment is make sure that we have all of the proper equipment needed to do this. So I'm going to go through a checklist of everything that you guys should have, make sure it is in front of you, make sure you have a nice clean workstation. Nothing is worse than a messy scientist. We make enough mess doing the experiment, so let's start off clean to get started. So the first thing you guys are going to need is some heavy cream. If you do not have heavy cream at home, that's okay. You guys can also use half and half and whole milk. The consistency may come out a little bit differently, but I promise you the taste is just as sweet. I will be using heavy cream because that is what's recommended, but like I said, half and half and whole milk work just as well. Just make sure it's got a full fat because that's what you need to mix everything together. You guys are also going to need vanilla extract. This is what's going to give it our vanilla taste. You guys are going to need some white sugar to make it sweet. You are going to need some kosher salt. This is a thick, coarse, grainy kind of salt. If you do not have this, Himalayan pink salt and sea salt work just as well. Only thing I wouldn't recommend is table salt because it's too small. It won't freeze your ice as well. You are going to need two kinds of plastic bags. You're going to need a gallon Ziploc bag, and you guys are going to need a quart Ziploc bag. Make sure that these have a very super sturdy sealed top because the last thing you want to do is have your water and ice mixture leaking into your ice cream mixture because it will make your ice cream salty. And I don't know about you guys, but I think salty ice cream would taste gross. So make sure that they're sealed. I like the slider bags. I feel like they're the safest, but whatever you guys have at home that you trust is good. Also, if you want a super reinforced ice cream bag, you guys, and you don't have slider tops, you guys can take tape and tape it closed. Lastly, you're going to need ice. This is what's going to create our ice cream mixture. You guys are going to need a lot of it, so I recommend either getting a bag of ice from the store or making sure that you have enough ice at home. If you don't, make ice first, wait, and then come back to this video and make your ice cream. You're also going to need any ingredients and toppings that you're going to want to put on your ice cream when it's done. So I have some rainbow sprinkles, and in my fridge right now, because it's a little hot outside, I didn't want to bring it out yet, is whipped cream, and I have a waffle cone bowl. But you guys are free to throw cherries, any other fruit, chocolate sauce, whatever you like on your ice cream. It's however you want to decorate it when the time comes. Here we go. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do for your experiment is take out your two Ziploc bags. So you're going to grab your gallon size one. And you're going to grab your quart size bag. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to measure 3 cups of ice into our gallon size bag. So you're going to open that guy up. We're going to do 3 cups of ice. So we are going to take our cup measuring spoon and just do 3 in there. Then the next thing we're going to add to this bag of ice is 1/3 cup of our kosher salts or rock salts or sea salt, whatever you have. So I'm going to use my measuring cup and have it to 1/3. Once you have 1/3 of a cup, you're going to put it in there and put it to the side. Next up, we are going to make our cream mixture. So you guys are going to take your quart size bag, open it up, you are going to take a 1/2 cup of cream, pour it on in there. Ooh, see, and I spilled it. This is why we went outside. Into the cream mixture is going to go a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And lastly, we are going to put in 1 tablespoon of sugar. Alright, close that mixture nice and tight. Make sure there's little air in there and seal it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this small bag, drop it into our big bag with the ice and salt mixture, press the air out of this one. And so what you guys are going to do once everything is in a bag is you are going to mix it. Like I said, this is going to get really cold, arms are going to get tired. It's okay to take a break here and there, but try not to let it sit for too long because you will negate the chemistry process that's happening within all these ingredients. If you want, feel free to grab a family member to help you. You guys can have a catch with it. So as you guys are shaking it, you kind of want to see what's happening to the inside of the bag. I don't recommend opening it because you will expose your inner ice cream to the salt and the ice that's on the outer bag. But you can kind of feel it through the Ziploc bag, and I don't know if you guys can see, but mine is starting to look like ice cream, and hopefully yours is looking the same. We have about 2 minutes left of shaking it, so get ready, shake out those arms, and let's go. So now that our ice cream is all nice and made, what we're going to do is open this big bag, and we are going to take out our little bag. Once you have this out, we're going to set this to the side. Now what I recommend doing is wiping off the top of this with a paper towel, a napkin, a regular towel, whatever you have handy, just because there is some salt and ice mixture on this bag, and the last thing you want is salt and ice getting into your ice cream, because that would be so gross. So what I do is I just take a towel, wipe it down quickly, and open the bag for our ice cream. So now what it should look like is some nice churned ice cream in that bag. Again, if yours is a little liquidy, feel free to put it back in your ice mixture and shake it up. Keep going until you get it to look like it's ice cream. And the last step of our experiment is to enjoy it. So what I'm gonna do is make an ice cream sundae that I will show you guys. You guys can eat it straight out of the bag if you want. If you want to put your toppings in the bag, that's cool too. However you eat your ice cream is totally fine in my book, because ice cream is the best part about it. So do what makes you happy. So as you can see here, I have my waffle cone bowl. I am going to scoop my ice cream into it. Look at that. Who needs store-bought ice cream when we can have science and snacks? Two of my favorite things. And then I'm going to make mine a sundae. So I'm going to top it with some delicious whipped cream. A nice cherry. Oh, I need that spoon. And some rainbow sprinkles. And there you have it, a super simple, sweet science experiment that has a tasty treat at the end. Thank you guys so much for joining me for kitchen science, well, backyard science today. I hope you had fun, and if you make these ice cream creations, please send me a picture. I would love to see your science experiments. You guys can drop them in the comments below, or you can email the library, whatever you guys want. I would love to see what you create, and have fun, happy science, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.